Alright guys, this is Jacob from Wager Me This, and I got another toolbox video coming for you here. And so I'm going to try to create a situation that happens a lot at the craps table. Let's see if it'll let me. I'm going to try to do it organically. If I can't, then I'm going to go on and do it. I'll just show it. Alright, so we got a $10 pass line bet. I'm going to play like a lot of people play. Alright, $10 pass line bet. And we have a 6. Point's going to be 6. Okay. So we're going to pick up an 8. And we're going to put 2 units of odds. That's $10 behind that. And then we're going to go and we're going to put the 9 out there. Okay, so this is like, it's like a 3-point system. You're just choosing which ones you want. All right, so from here we're going to press. All right, there's a 5, 5, 10. Now I want to show, all right, there's a 3. I'm going to show something that should be in your toolbox. All right, there's an 8. All right, so we got one hit. And we rolled a bunch of times. Okay, so you should keep this in mind that we rolled 5 times. There's 5 rolls, okay? So remember, especially in this situation where it's just a random roll, this person isn't controlling the dice. So this is completely random. So whatever you believe or don't believe about any kind of dice control, it doesn't make a difference here. Because this is completely random, right? So you're playing with the random odds, with the random probabilities, which is 1 out of 6 rolls should be a 7. So in this instance, we're to 5 and we only got 1 hit. All right, it's $14. So we're going to rack that. This is where I'm talking about trying to get to the toolbox part of this. Is you have to always be mindful. If you're going to try to make money playing craps, you have to always be mindful of the situation. Right, so the situation started with a couple elements. One element is that the guy's shooting random numbers. All right. Second element is that you have $10, $20, $30, $42 invested in the game. And the third element is that it's went 5 rolls and you only have 1 hit. All right. So it's not like it hit on the second roll. So at this point, you have some options. You can just keep trying to play and fight it, and every roll is 1 roll closer to the 7, or you can do some things to make the 7 not as scary. So for example, you got 44 out here, or 42 out here, you made 14, right? So maybe you take and you say, okay, well, I'm going to put 25 on the come, right? 25 plus 14 is 39. It's going to be pretty close. So if a 7 does roll, I've limited what I can lose. If a 7 doesn't roll, if it's a different number, barring the 2, 3, and 12, you're going to travel. All right. Hopefully it hits an 8 or a 9 or a 6. Right. That's what we want. That way we win when we don't lose this 25. All right. So you're at that 6th roll. Let's see what happens. All right, we got an 8. All right. So remember, we've made 14. Initial investment was the 42. It's going to travel. It's going to pay $14. So now we've made 28 out of the initial 42. All right. So you don't need that 8 up there no more. So now it's an initial 30, and we've made 28 because we pulled our 8 off. All right. We did add the 25. But that doesn't make a difference because this is where the toolbox comes in. All right, so now what do we have out there? 30. We're going to put a $50 come out there. All right? We're under the assumption being that it's a random roller, that the 7 is going to be showing up pretty quick, right? And we have a 10, right? Again, we're in the same situation. Maybe you take these off this time, right? This is called a come progression. Right, so you got 75, 85. So maybe you go to 75. Right, you're assuming the 7 is coming. Right? You hit your 10. All right, this is great. This is perfect. All right, you started out with, it's going to travel. You started out with playing place bets on the inside. Now you've moved to this come progression in odds. Remember, you've made 28. Now you've made 28 plus 50. Right? That you've already profited that money. All you have at risk from your initial is this right here. So you're going to play this $100 come, try to cover this up here. The 7's coming, guys. It's going to get there. All right, so you just hit the 10 again. And this is the perfect situation for a come progression. All right, it's going to travel over there. You don't got to go to 125. You've won a bunch of money. You can go to 100, and you can just stick it out right here. There's the 7, right? So you knew by the way probability works that eventually this 7 is going to catch this roll. But by playing through the come on a longer roll, if it does keep going, you're not losing bets. You're going to be hitting bets and making profit. All right, so you lost this 35. This is going to pay that. We're going to rack it up. Remember, we started with 300, right, on that come progression. So let's see where we're at now. Got 100 over here in reds. 118. 418. So we're up $118 off a one shooter playing the place bets and working it into a come progression. So the toolbox part here I'm talking about, this is what I'm trying to show people, is that having a come progression in your game, having an idea of how to work a come progression is a good tool to create success if you're going to be a light side player. So let's try it again. $10 pass line. Here we go. Still random shooters. Not you shooting. There's a 9. All right, we're going to play the same game. Same exact game. Remember, we're not jumping right out to that come progression. We're going to see if it'll hit. If some of these numbers will hit first. You know, give it 3 or 4 numbers before you, 5 rolls before you start into this. All right. You don't want to just do it right away because you'll end up at $400 in just a couple rolls. All right. So there's a 9. We won. $15. All right. $25 overall. So cool. You know, out of our initial 44, we just made 25 of it back. All right. So we're off on the come out. All right. There's a 4. Points can be 4. All right. Same thing. So it's the second roll without a 7, or third roll without a 7. All right. A 3. There's a 4th roll. And a 6. All right, so it's a $14 6. So this is the 5th roll without a 7. So now we're going, okay, we're probably going to see a 7. We've made 14, we made 25. So we're about to the initial investment. So we're just going to start with a $25 come bet. All right, 14 plus 25 is 39. You know, we got 54 invested. If it rolls a 7, we basically will break even because we'll win there. So let's see what happens. And we have a 5. That's perfect. So it's going to travel up here. We're going to win $14. So we're going to drop $1 and win 15. All right, so now on initial investment, we've won 25, we've won 14, and we've won 14. So that's 28 plus 25 is 53. We're basically covered our initial investment. All right, so now we got that 25. Right, going to pull that down. No need to have that there. All right, so we got 25 to cover. So we're going to go to $50 on the come. This will be a profit if we hit a 7. All right, there's the 9. All right, 549. Okay, so when this happens, when this kind of stuff happens, when you travel to a number that don't pay you, make an adjustment. Okay, you're like, okay, well, let's take the 6 down. You know, you don't want to have an extra bit of money out there that hinders the come progression from creating a profit. All right, so now we got them greens. Let's go to 75. And we have an 11. All right, so that's a freebie. You gotta love the freebies. I'm just gonna collect that freebie. And we have a 4, so we hit our point. All right? Bam. Okay, that point's going to pay 10 there and 20 in the back. Rack it up. There's no reason to have this 8 out here no more. You got all that cum money out there, so you need to use this pass line at this point as a cum progression bet. Remember, you've made $100 in winning bets or more. All right, so you don't have to hedge out all of this. All right, you can hedge out just part of it. So let's go with like a $50 pass line bet. All right, so yeah, it doesn't cover the whole thing, but your cum progression made it so you could hit all them other numbers kind of risk-free. You know, you're taking away the risk by eliminating the 7 as a loser. Right, so now we're just hoping hitting a 7 here, it don't hurt us. So we've made probably $100, so we'd lose, and it would probably break us even. All right, so there's a 7. We were at 400 and something, right? Okay, so it's going to pay there. We're going to lose these ones. When we started that cum progression, we were at like 400 and something. All right, so I know we made money. All right. So there's 300, 400, 425, 450, 460, 465, 470, 476, 476. All right. So because we allowed that cum progression to protect us as we were hitting in there, we were able to profit on that shooter. Again, let's run it through again. All right, $10 pass line. There's an 8, 6-2. Now, can this strategy fail? It's not really a strategy, so it's a strategy helper. It's a strategy protector, is what it is. It's a tool. It's a tool in your game you need to have if you're a light side player. Okay, so we're at the $52 invested. All right, so let's make some money. Let's try to hit some numbers. All right, we got a 6, 516. That was not aces. That was a 6, a 5-1. So it's a $14 winner. All right, remember we're 52 invested, so 52 minus 14. We're down to 38, right? 38 invested. That's the second roll. And we have a 10. That's the third roll. We're at 9. On the fourth roll, we made a 9, so let's drop $1 for 15. So now we're at 28 is what we have at risk because we've won 3 times. All right, so we're at 28. Fourth roll. So this is the fifth roll. Are we going to risk a fifth roll? We've got 28 of our dollars. So maybe we throw a quarter out there, right? Worst case scenario, 7 rolls, we lose $3 overall. If we hit any of them other numbers, we're in the profit. All right, we made the 6. Perfect. Drop $1 for 15. All right, 6 is going to travel up there. Get our 15. Let's rack all this up. All right, so now we started our cum progression again. All right, so let's go to 50. We're in a $50 cum progression. And we have an 8. So we made our point. It's a good situation. Go up there. It's going to come down here and pay 10 there. 12 there. All right, so now we're way ahead again. Way ahead. And we got our cum progression started. All right, 75. We're going to be on a come out roll. So we're going to rack that. We're going to put 50 here. All right, that way if we roll a 7, these are going to be off. These 5 and 9 are going to be off, so they're not affected here. We're just going to play 50 against 75 here. Hopefully we hit a 6 or an 8. Oh, we hit a 6. Perfect. All right, so this is going to travel there, but this is going to win. All right, boom. Collect that up. All right. You don't need odds. Everyone jumps on that odds thing. Odds, odds, odds. You got a $50 bet on the 6. What? You don't need no more odds, right? 50 and 50 here. So we need to get about $100, $75 out there in the cum. All right, we're going to pull this 5 and 9 down. We're just going to work this cum progression, try to get out of this hand with a profit. There's the 8. Perfect. All right, it's going to pay. The 75 is going to travel. We're going to go right back to 75. We're going to get a quarter. We're going to put a quarter in the box, man. collecting the money. And then we have a 3. Now this can kill the come progression. I've been hoping this was going to happen. All right, you can get smacked if these horn numbers will roll. All right, doesn't happen all the time. You have a huge advantage. You are in the advantage playing it. But so now you got to make a choice. All right, you do have 125 out here. You just lost 75. Are you going to go for it again? Myself, usually I go for it twice. If I roll 2 horn numbers, I get out. I'm hoping not to roll 2 horn numbers. All right, so we hit the 7. Okay, so we're going to lose these, but we're going to win here. All right, so overall, because of that horn hit, didn't do as well. All right, the 75 hurt our profit generation. All right, but we got 200 in reds, 400, 425, 450. So we're basically even. We're basically even for that shooter. That horn hit hurt us. It did. That's going to hurt you in this strategy, or in this tool. If you do hit the horns, it's going to be. I just traded that row of reds in. It's gonna affect it. Are you going to hit them a lot? No, not really. All right, so let's run through it one more time. That way, I can show again why this is a good strategy or a good tool for your strategies. All right, there's a 4, 2, 2. All right. Again, we're going to go across our numbers. Usually I feel like you should only have 4 numbers working out the gate if you're playing if you're a low roller. The more you get out there, because you're only going to go 4 or 5 rolls before you start getting nervous, before it starts getting like, hey, when's the 7 coming? So limit your risk a little bit. All right, we're going to get some odds. So our 4 is worth, 20, 30, 40, 54. We need to make some numbers. And we have an ace, so that's 2 rolls. And then we have a 9, so it's 3 rolls. So we ain't not hitting, and we're almost to that 4th roll. All right, so there's a 5. We're going to drop $1. Collect that up. So that was our 4th roll. We got 1 hit. So it's probably time to get a come progression out there. Now with only 1 hit, we're going to have to probably play $50 or take some money off the board. One of the two. And we have an 8. That's good for us. That worked as perfect as we could get it. We want to hit one of them numbers. Drop $1, collect 15. So now we're 24 invested, roughly. Got that 50 out there. Gonna pull that off. That's gonna help catch our profit. We're trying to catch that profit. All right, so let's go to 75 on this come progression. And we have a 6. Okay. So drop $1 for 15. Remember, we're just using this come to protect the bets. To protect these other bets. Protect against the 7. All right. So now we got 125 out there. It's probably time to pull this stuff off. All right. We're going to play it for 75. We don't got to go no bigger than that. We've already made some money. We got an 8. All right. So we're going to start recycling this money. Just like each other time with this come progression, you're going to start recycling money. All right. Again, there's 75 and 75. But you just made 50. So we're just going to go to 50. We're just going to try to pull the profit in and start limiting that risk. All right. $75 winner with that 6. It's going to pay. That's going to travel. Again, stay at 50. We're just going to pull these numbers back. Win on that 7. There's a 6. If it goes long, we're still going to be involved in the game for big hit numbers, for big wins. And we're just going to rack it up. And we have an 8. So this is rolling perfectly perfect. Just 6s and 8s over and over. $75 winner. All right, $50. It's not always going to go like this. You're going to get 7s. 6 again, of course, because it's just going to keep rolling money numbers. But there's no reason to stop this come progression. All right, there's the 7. So we got a bunch of wins, and then a 7 came, protected most of our money, got out of the game. All right, I don't got to count it up. You guys know we just made a huge chunk. I'll just end the video here. There's 500 right there. That's 600. 675. 700. 55. 760. $770. All right, $770, guys, on doing nothing more than playing a 44 inside type strategy. All right, 4 points basically, 3 points, however you want to play it. Not overextending our rolls. At about 4 or 5 rolls, we start a come progression. And when you start your come progression, you don't got to keep doubling the money. You don't got to keep covering the money. You just have to cover enough that you'll still be in the profit if the 7 rolls. That as a shooter as a whole, so you got to keep track of your early hits. Okay, how much did you make here? 14 here, 14 here. You know, 20 here. You know, you got to keep track of that stuff. You know, it don't have to be perfect. You can be like, okay, we won a couple here. You know, that's why I was explaining units the other day, to where you don't have to keep track of the exact dollar amount. You can just keep track of the units. All right, you know you've won 4 units. So if you pull 4 units off, that's guaranteed money. And so, anyways, this is Jacob from Wedge Me This. This is another toolbox video, number 2, about the com progression. This is for the light side players. As a dark side player, you don't really need this because you already got the 7. So this is just a way to gain the 7 without on every roll, without using the don't and having to go through a roll. So this is just a protection to your place bets. You're using it to protect them after you've made a couple hits, after the roll's getting a little longer. That way you don't run into trouble and you got a bunch of money out there and it gets whacked and everything you made you lose right back. So that's what the come progression is for. So anyways, this is Jacob from Wedge Me This, and you guys have a good day.